In the ashes of the end rises the Doomsday Queen. In the ashes of the end rises the Doomsday Queen. In the ashes of the end rises the Doomsday Queen.
Hi guys, welcome in. Oh, that is not set up right. Are we there? I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. Hi Code Red, welcome in. Hi Hope. Hi Duck Rooster. Hope everyone's having a good afternoon. I'm just getting things set up over here. I'm going to see if I can get a few of my other moderators added back in because I am using this app and it's being kind of a pain in the butt. How's the sound quality? Are you guys doing good? Hi, Love for Pities. Well, TikTok's a complete dumpster fire. I already had violations this morning, so we ended the live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about some pantry preparedness. And at the very end, we're going to go in and discuss some of the current world stuff going on, right? Everyone is very divided. Everyone is feeling like civil war is on the forelines of everything. But at the same time, it's mainly civil unrest that is just overstepping everywhere. Hi, Missy. I'm hoping that this shows all comments. I'm hoping you did get in here early for a chat. I was live on there. You did not get a notice. Well, the whole app is broken over there. Serena, I am trying so hard to get you added. I'm going to see if I can do it from my phone really quick. We're going to see if it's going to allow me to add you. Ooh, we're going to get a delay in here. Let's see if we can get her added in here. Oh, yay. Okay. All right. Serena is added in, and now I just need Jordan. I don't know if Jordan's in here. Whoa. There we go. The lighting is very, very bright. I don't know if TikTok's going to get corrected. I've given it a year for them to fix their quirks and all the things that have been happening. I just don't know if this is going to actually happen. That might be the downfall of that app, but that's okay. We've decided to make this our hub, and this is where I'll be more full-time. Missy, it kicked you out of the live and then you couldn't get back in it this morning after I got a violation. I'm sure it did. It is ridiculous. You guys, make sure you guys share this live and make sure you do a thumbs up. Hi, KT. So today we're going to be talking about some pantry preparedness, and I did get a DM from a friend on here, and she was asking, do you prefer to store food in Mylar or if you prefer to store it in jars? Now, for me personally, I choose not to store my food in jars unless I am canning. I like to save perishable foods by canning, pressure canning, water bath canning. That is one of the ways that I enjoy storing foods. However, Mylar, I know a lot of people like preach like Amazon. It's not good. So I'm going to show you guys what I use. I'm just going to come right over here for a minute, reach over here and grab it. I'm going to kick some boxes out of the way. Let you guys know what I actually store up. Okay. Do I have all these different types of Mylar? Yes. Do I have some Harvest Right stuff? Yes. It's all right. My ultimate like holy grail is this one. These ones right here. So right here I have, and this is where I get like those MRE style bags that you can add water to them and then they stand up. Hi, welcome in, welcome in. This one, it's from Top Mylar, topmylar.com. You can use the code Charmingly Frugal or Doomsday Queen, and you'll save money on them. But these are the 2 quarts. They look like this. They are much thicker than anything you're going to find on Amazon. I know. Oh, there's Jordan. Okay, Jordan, I'm going to add you in as a moderator really quick. I figured out how to do it. I can do it from my phone. There we go. I'm just getting all of my people over here, since that's where I'm going to be. But Amazon, they have pinholes. These ones do not. So I'm going to give you guys an example. So this is just a 2 quart. They're thick. They work really well. That is how I store all my food. I use Top Mylar. I think it's well worth the investment. The bags, you can get like 50 count, 100, 150. So this is a 50 count. Then these are like smaller 1 quart bags. When I say I order everything from Top Mylar, it is a small business based in the US. How I do my 5-gallon buckets that some of you guys have seen in my reels is I will do 2.5-gallon bags, which is 5 gallons. I think that they fit perfect. So you can set 2 of them up, standing up inside of a bucket, fill each one, and then be able to add in your oxygen absorbers, then seal them, and then you do your heat seal, and then just tuck them in, spin on your lid, and you are good to go. Hi, Priv. I know I'm going to be doing evening lives here and earlier lives. So I'm trying to find a really good balance so that my daytime watchers still have me here, but also my nighttime watchers, they can actually have access also. Hi, Troy. Welcome in, William. But these are my 2.5-gallon ones. I'll show you what one of those looks like. They are amazing. And they fit perfectly down in a bucket. So I have 0 complaints. Then I have my 1-galloners. And then I actually have little MRE style mills that can stand on their own. You can add hot water into them. You can add hot water into almost any type of Mylar, but they work really well as if they are an MRE. Unfortunately, I have a bunch from Amazon. I just check regularly. Definitely use a flashlight. Amazon used to be good about 2 years ago on Mylar, and then they got into rapid fire production. And of course, they're going for the smallest amount of price and doesn't always mean the best quality. So I highly encourage, once you get through those, go here, because you will not find pinholes. When I say I have stacks on stacks of these, this is what I use for the majority of my dry food, long-term food. When I freeze dry, I even go to these just because they're thicker. I know the rule is not to use a lid for canning more than once. Mine uses 10 times. How does everyone feel? Also, canning from jars, my aunt from the 1930s. Oh, that's amazing. Well, first of all, congratulations on having some amazing vintage lids. That is very big rarity. I have some from the 1930s, Cheryl, and I love them. I actually reuse my lids. I know there's people out there that are like, no, don't use your lids. The way I open now, I have an Amish can opener that Chrissy got me, which just pops the lid off with no dents or anything. But before, I actually used a metal can opener, like the ones with the blade and spin. I would put the blade underneath the lip. Let's find a jar. I would put my blade under the lip and then put the gear shift up on top. And then I would just peel it up. So then you hear the, and you got a good seal, and it pops, and it didn't bend my lids, because during the pandemic, there was a lid shortage on canning. So I actually do reuse my lids quite a bit. I've actually just started making the transition to Superb lids, which I've fallen in love with. They're great. I do have a love-hate relationship with them right now, but I have a lot more sealed jars than with current ball. I only can with lid once. I do reuse lids for dry storage, which is fine, but mine get ruined when I open them. Yeah, sometimes they do get ruined in that sense, especially if you use one of the jar openers that pop a dent into it. That can compromise your lid very, very, very easily. But yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that It says top messages. How do I change? How do I change? Can any of my moderators change on the live chat? And Wednesdays will be a Q&A. So today is pantry. We're just going to do a quick Q&A. I'm updating this from here. But Wednesdays will be a Q&A style day, like a very evergreen prepping style so that we can just really buckle down, talk about some of these subjects that, maybe you don't want to watch a video on. Maybe it's just something you've had a question on and like we can just readjust fire. My jars say mason jars and I use other lids to seal them that are that brand. You can use any kind of lid. As long as it's a mason jar lid, like a wide lid or a regular lid. I have never tried lids from 4 jars. I would love to. Dawn, I could actually probably order some. I've never tried them though. I've only done Ball and now Superb. Superb's a little bit finicky. Either you got to like tighten really loosely on there or you got to tighten them tighter. I'm beginning to look at dry goods, meals in a jar, recipes to pour over boiling water and things. Oh, I love that. So we're going to be actually doing a few of those jar recipes. One of my favorite ones is instant oatmeal. I can kind of give you a rundown of how I do that one. It's very, very simple. So I use dry milk. I know I say milk funny. It's an accent, guys. Milk. I use oatmeal and then I just mix a little bit in there and then I do freeze-dried fruit on top of it. And then I shake it up and then I'll just add it into a bowl and just add hot water or hot milk into it and you have oatmeal. Have you tried 4 jars? Code Red, thank you so much for the gift. You are so sweet. Thank you so much, Code Red. I have 4 jars just recently, and they're a lot thicker. Superb, and what I've heard on 4 jars is that they are thicker. Same with Azure. This is one of the reasons why I did leave TikTok is I am not allowed to talk about different brands unless it's on their shop. And here I still have freedom of speech, luckily. So we can actually really talk about things, ask questions, and go into it. Ball, despite them coming onto my videos and making comments, they are sellouts. Their jars are getting thinner. They crack. They get stress fractures. I've had more failed seals in the last year than I've had in over 30 years of canning. I'm looking to use a freeze dryer more in versatility. Yes. And I have like jars. So one company that came out during the pandemic that was absolutely garbage would be Pure. Pure lids are absolute junk. I use those for dry canning, like for dry products and dry products only. But their jars, I will use the Superb lids with. Hi, Scottish Prepper. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's good to see you, my friend. How long is the jar lifespan for reusing? Jars will last until they get cracks, divots, or stress fractures. So I have some jars that are over 20 years old that I use on a regular basis, and they've never had any cracks or divots. Best thing for me to recommend is after you wash your jars, really inspect your rims. Make sure you're not getting any chips or divots. You don't want any glass going into your food. Christina, thank you so much for the gift. You're so nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hello from the UK. Oh my goodness. We have so many friends in here from the UK. I know canning is a lot harder to find resources for canning over the pond. You ended up using Pure lids for target practice. That's actually an excellent idea. Maybe I'll do that because I have probably 400 of those lids. I won't lie. Like, I remember that feeling during the pandemic because So a little backstory is prior to the pandemic, I was going through a very heavy yes, adult talk now, Teresa. Hi, Joey. Welcome in. Welcome in. If you guys like gaming, definitely give at laser_BR a follow. He has been one of my longest moderators. He's a longtime friend. He does a lot of gaming and he is starting to branch out and cross-platform. Give him a follow. Same with Scottish Prepper. Scottish Prepper, thank you so much for the gift. Oh my gosh, deep fried Mars bars are a legit snack. Make sure you guys give Scottish Prepper a follow. We were on we did a live together. It was you, me, and Mike, and we just got to really talk about what's going on over here and overseas. But give him a follow. You guys probably recognize his name. He's been with us on TikTok for the last like 6 years. Excellent content creator. He's from Scotland, got a great accent. Hi, Chrissy. Welcome in. Welcome in. But during the pandemic, prior to it, 9 months before they had announced it, I went through where you start to, I don't know if anybody else has ever had this feeling when it comes to prepping. So correct me if I am wrong. But when something is about to happen, it's just like very heavy on your heart. I don't know how else to describe it. So I went and I started picking up, 50 more pounds of potatoes, 50 more pounds of onions. Then I doubled it. It was like all of a sudden 200 pounds. My garden, my seedlings, I had taken over 3 rooms in my house. Like everywhere was seedlings. And my husband was like, "Why is your garden? What are you doing?" And I was like, "I want to triple my size of my garden." And he was like, "I don't. Why?" And I was like, "I don't know. I feel it's very heavy on my heart that we need to do more. Like I'm just not doing enough." And then the pandemic happened, and then he saw the empty shelves and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you followed your gut feeling." But I felt like I was going crazy. Like I was canning almost every day, just do, as much as I could, as much as I could. I had no idea that we were about to experience a supply chain shortage. And this year, since October, I have felt it so heavy again. So heavy. Hi, Mike. Is anybody else feeling that heaviness, like where you're not doing enough? Oh, sorry, E. James. I just barely went live just about 17 minutes ago. So you're just in time. Has anybody else? Oh, yeah, Chrissy's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to mute your message." Um, we're working out kinks. Moderators are just learning things in here. So please be patient. Just repost it. I promise you won't get muted. Polished Homestead says, "I feel that big time." What are your top 3 favorite things to eat and what you can? Okay, one of my favorite ones is you're always going to see it in the background. I am going to tell you right now, this is just who I am. I like to crack open a beer, watch a good movie, and eat peaches. I don't know what it is. I'm a peach girl through and through. My kids are, my family is. I will make peach cobblers. I make these little rolls with diced up peaches in it. And then I just use the syrup in it to drizzle over, just cooking it up into a syrup. I love peaches. Peaches are like one of my absolute favorites. The newest one that I'm obsessed with, hold on. Whoa, that lighting. We're working on the lights in here. Okay, guys, we're working on the lights. And actually, the desk will be moving way over there. And we're actually going to be painting this wall over here. Not a lot of you guys know that, but where is it? This one. This one, Chrissy gave me this recipe. And oh my goodness, is it good? This is corned beef and hash all in one jar. My family does not like it. I will eat this straight out of the jar. I just warm it up in a pan, and it is one of my absolute favorite meals just to have for lunch for myself. I absolutely am in love with this one. And then the third one I would say is my apricot jam. Apricot jam it's an all-time family favorite. They eat it with everything. There is not enough apricot jam I can keep on my pantry. The number does not exist. I just canned probably 70 jars, and I guarantee by this summer, half of them will be gone. Check your bin stores near you to pick up the 10 by 10. Ooh, Augustin Farms, freeze-dried stuff, yes. If you guys have a Winco, if you're on the West Coast, there is a grocery, it's kind of like a grocery outlet, but it's not. Winco always will run deals with Augustin Farms. I've replanted my garden like 5 times. I am so excited to plan my garden for the property. Audie Q, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate it. You're so sweet. Um, we have filled space at our place with our preps and now prepping our daughter's house. I know I saw that. You're doing such a great job on making sure your daughter is prepped. We are getting ready to put another Connex out on the property. When I get off this live, I will be talking to the driller for the water well and really putting pressure on him to get him out there this weekend to see if we both can be in the same area, boots on ground. Let's go check this out. Let's start the process. We have not fully figured out the well scenario yet. I'm nervous, but I did do some research in the areas. I found 7 wells near me that were all drilled under 400 feet. So I'm feeling a lot more confident than the 600 feet that we were originally quoted at. I was in Florida on the holidays running filled cases of Augustin Farms for like 30% of what I'd pay in the UK. Yes. At a Dent and Bent Amish store, 30 huge green peppers for free. Oh, that's amazing, Cheryl. I love that. You're doing your first garden this year. I love it. And I know you're up north, Teresa. So one little tip I'll give you. Hi Knife, welcome in. Is so I use painter's plastic, that clear plastic. When I was in Alaska, I babied my plants because up north it's much colder. It gives it like a greenhouse scenario, but I just put a couple stakes, like 6 stakes around the garden bed, and I would just drape that over it so it got warm enough so that they were really establishing their root system and their leaf system, and they stayed much warmer. That is actually how I ended up growing tomatoes without a greenhouse in Alaska, which is very rare to do. My neighbors thought I was insane. They were like, there's no way that you're going to grow them without a greenhouse. They all had greenhouses and allowed me to use their greenhouses, but I was just like, I want to try it. I did grow like a 10-pound cabbage head. It was like this big. It was amazing and beautiful. Here in Utah, I cannot get a big cabbage head to save my life. Is collecting rain possible for me? Have a plan on the property. So I am doing rainwater collection, and despite the legal liabilities with it, is it acceptable here or encouraged here? Absolutely not. Am I still going to do it? Yes. And I don't feel guilty on any level. Now, in the area I'm like my property is in, is it illegal? No. Like I can do rainwater collection there. But even here, like where I'm at currently, it is frowned upon. They do not recommend it, blah blah blah. I still do it here. It's going to change so many things out there, Mike. I am just excited to see what the spring brings, and you guys are just going to constantly see me out there. I have to figure out how I'm going to be able to do the streaming, the live streams out at the property. I mean, I do have Starlink, but I am trying to establish a better setup in here so we can do this more frequently, because the government is insane. I'll say it. Why would they make collection illegal? Because the government's insane. They're insane. Does anybody else live in a state that would be considered illegal? Like it's not illegal here. It's just frowned upon or not recommended or blah, blah, blah. But there is states that rainwater collection is safety and environmental impact. What size of garden are you putting out at the property, Raven? So I have 80 acres. I'm not going that big because that would be a lot of land. But right now I am currently working on a um, full acre, trying to amend as much soil as possible. Oh, really, Fly Gal? Township says it's a big no. Yeah. Have I had the soil tested to see what will grow well there? So there's a lot of things that do grow well there. The problem is because of the terrain. So country trumpkin, that's a great question. So the terrain, Mike J, will you help describe? He's from the same area. He's one of my moderators. He's been to the property. He's actually part of our community. His family is very well loved with our family. There's a lot of slate rock, clay, those kind of things. What I am doing is actually hauling in topsoil. What do you want us to change? I don't want you guys to change anything. What do you mean? Um, Hauling in topsoil, manure. My land was used for cattle to graze, so there is actually a lot of manure out there. The issue is it's undeveloped land, so it does not have water naturally right there. Does it have runoffs when the snow melts? Yes. Does it have little creeks that go through when the snow melts? Yes. But it is considered part of the high desert, so it's not on a 24/7, 365 style basis, but we do have water storage out there. Once the water well is established, then we have more of a constant water source. And then we started setting up ways for us to haul water and to refill the containers so that we're not always running the well and conserving a little bit more there. So over time, the land does change. So 10 miles down the road from me, there is hay. There's farms that grow hay. There's some corn farms. There's all kinds of different vegetation all around, but it is the soil just isn't amended. And for any farm that's out there, at some point during that farm's life, people did have to amend the soil. I deal with a lot of clay on our property and plants will grow there. Yeah, exactly. Water is very important. Plants, elevated planters, yep, buckets, yep. Stop wildlife. The biggest wildlife issues I have is so elk winter where my property is. We have deer and we have antelope. And then we have a ton of jackrabbits. So trying to create a fencing system. Yep, we're going to start constructing a runoff pond. So that is the saving, right? So we're getting a mini excavator. There's one I found used. It's around $7,000. Everything costs money. When you're working with undeveloped land, everything is a financial burden. There's always a new project. There's always something new. But we do want to start constructing that and actually start putting down some pond liner so that the water stays and it doesn't seep out. A lot of my friends, myself, make their own wine and beer. Yes. Very nice, Cheryl. Yeah, there's a lot of shale, clay, sandstone. It's all mixed in there. So it's just the amending process. So I got a ton of clover. What else did I pick up? Hold on. I will tell you what I got. So these are all, so half on that acre that I'm going to try to develop. I feel like 1 acre that's a lot for one person. It's a lot, but I will tell you what I got. I picked up, so for half the acre will be of crops that I'm going to be working with. And then the other half is just putting nutrients back into that soil. It's going to be very interesting and I'm excited. So I got some buckwheat. You guys can all go to like Rare Seeds. So they have like a soil amending, like putting nutrition back into your soil. So you have buckwheat, and then I got some clover, and then I got one other thing to kind of just scatter within that half an acre, a bunch of them. Like I got like 6 packs of these. Y'all should see how long my Rare Seeds receipt is. But to get as many growing there as possible. And then because this property in this house, I've worked on having plants come back year after year after year. So I have really well established asparagus. Obviously the grapevines, I'm going to be moving some out to the property. I'm praying that they're going to come back. Here we have peach trees, apple trees, rhubarb, blueberries, strawberries. All of that is going to be as much as I can transfer from here. Once I can get things established out there, I'm going to just start transferring. I don't know if I will be able to take my sweet, sweet, beautiful peach tree with me. And I have babied her for about 8 years. What do I do for seeds again? Rareseeds.com. You'll see a lot of commercials on YouTube for them. They're great. I don't have any promo codes. They don't do affiliates, but I really love them. But they are the Baker's Creek. Chrissy and them got me like super hooked on them. Let me go find the clover of what that one looks like. I have a whole like bucket. Just, and it's addicting in there. It's addicting. Where is the clover? So just to add a little bit more nutrients back into the soil, these, you grow them throughout the whole fall and it's supposed to help. Am I transplanting the grapes to the new location? Once I can establish that the timers and everything work. So we are kind of in this weird little limbo land, I guess is the way I would describe it. A weird limbo land. I have, my kids are here. They're in school. They have their activities, things like that. My husband also has his career here. He has his job, all of those things. But out there, so on our water storage containers, I got a lot of solar timers and even battery operated timers where I can now check the drip lines because we had a lot of failure issues during this last summer with them. So now bigger water storage containers, those are all on timers. So we're hoping that this is going to work really well with the garden scenario, is that every day it's going to go off, that they'll get watered. But the biggest thing is keeping the jackrabbits and the antelope ate all the potato plants. They were doing really well and they ate all of them, every ounce, every bit. Oh, Florida's been in the teens. That's crazy. Grow with Nate too. Yeah, the possibilities are going to be endless out there with water with the well. So my goal is to be out there by spring 2027, no matter what, to be completely moved out there. Am I planning to take the chickens and the ducks too? Yes. That is the other issue. Been hunting, looking for that damn bobcat nonstop. I've got to get the bobcat off that property. And also, so our run is very predator proof, but because it is a bobcat, bobcats climb, and we have mountain lions out there also. They climb. I need to stabilize the top of the run, and I can't do it on this property because we do have neighbors that are now complaining. But we do want to get the ducks and the chickens and everything out there, and I don't want to move them out there until we are permanently out there, just so that I can keep an extra eye on them. It's not going to do me any good to have a camera on them and not be physically out there with them if there is a predator. We are looking at getting some livestock guardian dogs for the property, but once again, I need to be out there with them. There's so many predators. I had an enclosed bit, and even from the top, and kept getting owls and hawks. So we have owls and hawks here and raccoons, and we've never had an issue. So I use, gosh, tell me if you can see it from in this room. I'm going to turn my camera. Tell me if you can see it, but let me think of the words, what it's actually called. Oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. We're going to mess up this. Do you see the big old roll? It's like, yeah, it's like right there. It's by the side with the red. It's like galvanized steel. I think it's like 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters. I'll have to look up the specs on it, but it is very, very, very thick. That's what we've used on our run this time. So we have that underneath and all around and wrapped around, and it is very thick and it's not bite proof. So I do not use regular chicken wire because it's just so fragile. You guys, it is very, very, very fragile, and predators can get through chicken wire very easily. And obviously it will be easier when on site full time. Yeah. That is the hardest one. So I think I found which manufactured home we're gonna order. I did get in contact with a person down in Texas, and they said, yeah, transportation is available. So now it's drill water well, establish that, straight to power, and have a house installed. So this is gonna get really crazy really, really quick. Like a retaining wall, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of like the same style of metal. Mhm. Around the new garden, I didn't think about burying it around the garden, just like your chicken coop. It'll help keep out the rabbits. Do jackrabbits dig? I don't do they dig? I don't feel like jackrabbits dig unless I am completely I just swear that they are just very fast. Donkeys are great deterring on predators, yes. I mean, we have a ton of coyotes. I just would feel guilty to have any animals out there without me permanently out there, just in case something was to happen. I wanna make sure that they have access to food and water, and because it is such a distance from here, like, I mean, we're literally leaving this entire area. My garden's gonna be way too big to bury hardware cloth. That's where I was like, I mean, I have about 40 feet, but that I don't think I have enough to bury it. The hardware cloth. Do jackrabbits dig? Yes, they can dig to make dens. Okay, alright. I was gonna say, I don't think I've really paid that much attention. Only thing I ever notice is Magnus kills one and then brings it back. 100 by 300 feet, 20 raised beds. I've never had raised beds before. Mhm. We are gonna do cattle, but we can't do anything until we have a water source. That is just one of the biggest ones. We've found I found a little trailer that I can just haul with my Jeep and pretty much creating it as its own water buffalo. And so in town there, you can sign up. So they have a bunch of people are off grid in this area. Okay. So this isn't something like where people are going to like, oh, I can't believe she's doing that. Oh, that's against regulate. Like when I say like this area, half its residents are off grid, there's a lot of people that are off grid. So they have a water fill station. And so people kind of create their own water buffaloes and they fill up their water, take it back to their homes. The two homes that are near us, they have no water source. They don't even have a well. And they just haul in water every week. But for me personally, I want to have water out there. So that's one of the reasons why I've invested so much money and time into saving for that water well. I'm going back through the comments. Let me catch up on some of these comments really quick, you guys. No sound? Are we good now? Sound is off. Sound is off. Oh, thank you so much for letting me know that the sound was off. I'm like, I'm just starting to mess around with this software a little bit more, trying to get more comfortable with it. Hi, Abraham. Welcome in. I feel like I missed quite a few comments. Originally today we were going to talk about food storage, but I guess we're going to talk about the garden out there. Thanks, Homestead. You guys, you got so much in prep steading with Mrs. V. You guys are amazing. But yeah, so getting manure out there, getting water, that's like the first, right? Get the well dug, also being able to haul out water. And out there, I think it's $40 a month and you can haul 3,000 gallons of water anytime you want. So that will be good to sustain if need be for a bit while the well is being dug or while we're getting things a little bit more systematically put together. $40 is way less than what we pay here. Thank you so much, Serena, for saying for everybody to make sure you smash that thumbs up button and leave a like and leave a comment. Over here on YouTube, less trolls. Yeah, it feels like it's less repetitive conversation too. I was really intimidated by YouTube. My cat is right here. See, she wants to go to the property. My little feral cat. She's like, I just want to be held. And then these guys, these are little garage kitties. They've always been like little mice catchers. But I want to make sure all my animals are safe out there. Coyotes are going to be the biggest one. I know me and Mike have a lot of plans to do a lot of coyote hunting. I'm for sure know that there's at least 2 dens. 2 dens. Every time I go out there, I've been, walking back and forth. I did find one den and I was like, all right, now I know where you are. Now I'm looking for the other one, but we've had quite a few coyotes. Thanks, Selena. I appreciate that. Getting seeds started. That's what I'm doing. I'm starting some of my seedlings, getting everything ready because we're going to it's going to be full-fledged all spring long and going into the summer. My daughter does competitive sports, so I am trying to make sure that my schedule stays really balanced. Is the kitty still hanging around? Yes. She's in my lap. She's the nice one. Cat's mean. We have coyotes in the yards and the woods behind us. Kelly's husband was building a coyote bridge. I'm just kidding. Kelly, are you still in here? Her husband's building a bridge on their property right now, and we keep making the joke that it's like the gateway for the coyotes to like just walk across. Can we name it the Coyote Bridge? Kelly's like, I am laughing right now. How about livestock protection dogs? Yes. But we need to be full-time out there. I don't want to get a livestock. So understand on livestock, I am tongue-tied. If you guys did not know that, my tongue is actually tied. So that's sometimes why my words will come off a little wonky sometimes. But livestock protection dogs, you can't have them inside. So it would be an injustice for me to bring them here. The property here is too small. But out at the property, once we're out there full time, yes. Our neighbors down the road, they have goats and llamas and a couple pigs. That they have 3 dogs. Can I tell you the name of the Mylar? Yes, topmylar.com. On some of my previous videos, you'll find a link for it. You can also find my link on Discord. I'll get better about posting links. Yes, my new place will still be in Utah. Yes, it will. But you can use the code doomsdayqueen. And if they cut you off for buying too much on Doomsday Queen, go and use Charmingly Frugal. Save yourself a lot of money. Oh, yeah. The links are also posted in the chat. My moderators are great about posting links. They are so on it. Great Pyrenees are really popular here. We have a lot of friends that do a lot of sheep farm herding, and they have them. And so we do know who we will be buying from on those. Gosh, you are just obnoxious. Look at her. She's like wrapped around this is my arm. She's crazy. Hi, Gen X Prepper. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful day. We can evict with extreme prejudice. Oh, you're Canadian. Welcome in, B-Mitt. Today we are talking pantry preparedness and the garden that will be being placed out at the property. She does want cuddles. She thinks she's a dog. She's licking my hand. We also spray ammonia around our chicken coop to keep predators away. That's very smart. You love your Great Pyrenees so much. I know. The cat's like, why are you talking to a box mom? Just hold me. Could you just imagine what animals think? They're like, why are they talking to their device? This is so weird. That thing that makes phone calls that they talk to, who's in there? They probably think we're completely insane. Oh, German gal, you're so sweet. But yeah, so those are all options once I'm out there full time. I just don't want to be irresponsible and put animals out there without me being full time out there. I just feel like that will be an injustice to them, especially if it's a slaughterhouse. Yours just sits and listens. She's just licking my hands at this. She's like attached to my arm. Your pantry inventory. Oh, you're doing pantry. Who in here does a monthly pantry inventory? I think that this is very crucial and very important for having less waste. I froze you on my TV the other night and you look like you were peeking over the timeline. Your dogs thought you were trying to peek in the living room. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Do you guys want me to put the chat up on the screen for you guys that are on the watching on the TV? Weekly inventory here. See, that is great. Doing a weekly inventory is so important. I feel like I do it about every week, if not every 2 to 3 weeks, but that's because I do work in this room. So I'm constantly looking around and I will figure out what we are missing. Hello, UK prep urban prepper. Hi, Mike. How are you? Our interview premieres Saturday at 6 p.m. Okay, so if you guys want to see the interview that I did with Mike yesterday, it's going to be on his channel at 6 p.m. You can hear just fine. I try to hit every single comment that comes in. I'm going to pin this up so you guys can see it. It's been a few months, Trader. Okay, can you get off me now? You're making me very itchy. I am a little bit allergic to cats. They make me a little itchy, but I still love them. I do a monthly inventory except for when war news gets intense, and then I do it earlier. Ooh, okay, I'm going back up. No, what are you doing? Look at her. She's back. You're making me itchy. I'm going to have to go get a Benadryl here in a minute. Stop. She's like kneading with her claws into my lap. Her name is Boo, if you guys are new. She is a rescue. She was feral. She is not feral anymore. She was bottle fed. Yeah. She came from the fires here in Utah down by Spanish Fork. My husband was fighting fires there. They kept finding more and more kittens that were abandoned by their mom. And so I took care of 40 of you guys. And then when they got a little bit bigger, then I only had 20. We split them between us and another foster. And Boo was one of the ones that stayed with us. And she is scared of her own shadow, but she's a little bit of a Klingon. Ain't that right? Our other cat hates everybody but me. Monthly inventory. Kids are amazed. You tell them what shelf life and what's the expected. You do a monthly. Basketball was amazing. I definitely got to check off something off my bucket list. We got to sit on the court side. I've never sat that close to a basketball game. I think I'm complete for the rest of my life on going basketball games. Nothing will ever beat that experience. Very blessed. Is there a way that you can provide, oh, wait, a forecast on your page to let us know when you plan on doing lives? Yes. So Country Trumpkin, I actually was just talking about this on TikTok. So I just got a new planner. It's being sent here where I am actually planning out all of my social media. So I will have it listed when I'm doing lives. There will be 2 daytime lives a week on YouTube and 2 evening time lives. So that those who watch in certain time frames, that they're both covered. I do have a heavy daytime following over on TikTok, but I still have a heavy nighttime following too. So here will be the majority of my lives. Over there will only be 3 days a week, but I will have that listed and I will be putting that actually in my bio so you guys can see. I'm really trying to get down to 1 long form content per day every day along with shorts too. I'm just figuring out that balance between a work life and normal life and parenting. A lot of the times I'm way behind on the conversation because I'm watching 20 minutes behind. Oh, no, you're totally good. I appreciate, though, that you asked about that. You're going to need one of those huge old school tubs to do canning at the property. I'm hoping to be doing some more fireside canning. My primary pantry and my secondary pantry and my prep room 3 times per year. Ooh, I like the way you put that down. You have your primary, your secondary. Does it not do that, Country Trumpkin? So I thought I had it set up. Who was here right when the live started? Was there one that said like live stream starting? So I set up the live stream an hour early. And last time it notified people on Discord that my live was about to start, but did it not do it this time? Yeah, I want my European followers to be able to join and not you got a countdown notification for this one? Was that only on YouTube or was that on Okay, you are being obnoxious. Do you want food? Do you want a kitty snack? Yes. So it was on YouTube and not Discord? I can see. Will my moderators drop the Discord link to anyone in the chat that wants it? I'm going to go grab her some food. This is a girl. Grab her a treat really quick so that she will sit over there so I'm not so itchy. You got a notification on YouTube? Who else got a notification on YouTube? Okay, let's get you a treat. Cat. Oh, there she is. We got some choo-choos. You want a choo-choo? No. One for you. All right. My little Hi, we're here. We are back. You never get notifications. Maybe hit unsubscribe and resubscribe and hit the bell. I'm not sure how YouTube really works. YouTube notifications. You can run 3 pressure canners and 3 burner camp chefs. I know, right, Mike? I'm very excited for, can you imagine the outdoor kitchen? You and Stacy can come over. I can be canning. Stacy, you, like, we're going to have so much space. It's going to be unreal. Not on YouTube. I'm not talking about notifications as much as a countdown on our page stating something like going live in 6 hours. Oh, I didn't know that. Joey, is Joey still in the live? Is there a chance you can look up and see maybe how to do that? I can try to do some research in it too. That's a great idea. I have a freeze dryer, but need to figure out the best way to store all of that. I'm using totes and racks, 45-gallon barrels for long term, but mostly non-rotational. So I use the 27-gallon totes from Costco. That is my Wham Jam, the ones with the yellow lid. And I try to break it up into at least a 3-week food supply in each one. And I like to label on the outside and then rotate those out. I do have like 27-gallon totes, like containers, multiple, that are only rice or only beans and those for this location and the other location. So at the property. How do you verify on Discord? So on Discord, up at the very top, I think it's in the rules. You're going to click and go in, verify. You click yes, check marks, thumbs up, all the things. You can select your roles, and then it will allow you to gain access to all the channels. It's just because we've had some people recently come in and just want drama, and I am a no drama mama. Y'all, I don't give a shit. Just don't beat up on each other. I'm too old to be somebody's mommy and parent them. Just use good behavior and you won't get kicked out. We've only had to kick out 3 people and they've all been men. I don't know why. No idea. Most of the time I think drama, I think women, and it's all been men. Like somebody got very, very, very emotional and upset with me for using water bottles in my car for emergency water. I live in the high desert. Last thing I care about is plastic carcinogens that could leach out into that water. When you have no water can equal death very quickly. You can schedule via StreamYard with a thumbnail. Oh, okay. And it will do the countdown till. Will you talk me through that today, maybe, Mike? Mike says I can do it through StreamYard. Oh, that's so smart. How many thumbs ups do we have in here? I know we have 71 people in here. I just clocked all the bells. Thank you. Similar to your system? Oh, that's amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah, I would love to have that set up so that it will. Oh, you're amazing. Because this is a new format for me. I'm excited to use it. I'm still nervous. Like, I'm going to be adding in lives over on Facebook, IG, 68 thumbs up. Perfect. All right. We're only missing like 2 of you guys. I also keep water bottles in my car. Better than nothing. Exactly. That's a big thing is it's a lot better than nothing. And mine are always rotated. Like they don't stay in there for months or years or anything. We run football practices, baseball practices. I have an entire like case of water in my car at all times because these kids are working hard. We do athletics. Just having extra water is just so important. I just bought. Ooh, hold on. Let me add these comments up here. I'm getting used to this system. I'm very excited to see how this plays out. I just bought a bulk of single wall still bottles for all the various bags I have. Ooh, I like that. Keep extra bottles in the car with water. Yep. We also do 5-gallon buckets for long term. You can find them cheap with the Amish. Yes. And that's what I used to use the Mrs. V with the top Mylar. I like the 2.5 gallon. They have a 5-gallon bag. They do. I like the 2.5 because I can fit 2 of them in there. And so then I know that there is enough oxygen absorbers in each bag, no matter what, before I seal them up. So when I'm breaking a seal, right? Like if I open one of my buckets, I have 2 Mylar bags that are sealed. I open one of rice, use that, say an emergency or for whatever reason, right? Groceries get too expensive. I mean, I use my long-term food supply and then replenish it all the time. I do have hives. I'm probably going to need to go grab a Benadryl. I have some right over there on the other side of this table in my medical stuff. But when I open one, say I use it, then I still have one that's completely sealed, and then I can just add another 2.5-gallon bag if I need to. Half your stuff isn't working on here today. What's not working, Mike? Let me see if I can help fix it. Hello, Tree. I'm glad that you got a charger for your phone. You were at a massive outdoor event during the summer, ran out of water, beverages. Thank goodness I had a case of water in my truck from overheating and dehydration. Yeah, that happens here. Like my kids will still be working out outdoors, like especially my son when he does football, it can be triple digits. And it's very quick for kids to hit dehydration. Uline sells buckets for cheap. Ooh, there you guys go. Nice, Hope. I'm glad that you gave him a follow. He is great. Mike is awesome. Teresa, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. That is amazing. Our memberships are climbing and climbing, and I'm hoping that we will start doing a little bit of like membership chats and then regular live streams. So, I'm trying to figure out what you guys like and what you guys want because it is a little hard on this app. Like I like to show like the actual prepping aspect and sometimes it seems like people only want the political aspect or they're not interested. Like if I do a long form canning video, it's like crickets, like chirp chirp, barely anybody sees it. But if I do it on a short reel and I have to like edit it for like hours trying to fit it all into like 2 minutes, bless me. Everybody watches it. You can go to the bakery, a local store, throw 5-gallon buckets out. Ooh. Oh, thanks, E. James. Oh, you're so nice. I try to be very nice. I am a little spicy. The red hair is real, guys. I am very spicy. The temper definitely matches the curtains. Okay. So just don't test the temper. And I'm very sarcastic. Very, very sarcastic. Thank you so much, Teresa. That was so nice. Oh my goodness, you guys are all like on it. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Take medicine. It'll normally wear off. We are building a really strong team, which I love. I much prefer practical preps over viral, politically charged videos. So there is like a really weird, sweet line. And I love that you said that, Little D Homestead, because there is like the politically charged, right? You have the politically charged videos, and then you have the practicality. And we currently, like where my head is, we're in this weird limbo land that the politically charged, this is politically charged. Politically charged is real right now. It's very much here. And then you also have the practicality. And we have to be somewhere in the middle because a lot of people don't believe what is happening. Um, there was, the ICE agent that, well, there was technically 2 that killed that nurse named Alex. Then there's now another nurse that's being charged because she's inciting violence the opposite direction. You have all of these things, and there's a lot of very heavy things going on in the world right now. And so we have to stay really on top of it. I'm your only source. Oh, that's so hard, Mrs. V. It is hard. I'm looking at getting into canning. Any advice for newbies to canning? Do it. Just do it, Wolfpack. You can go to Walmart and you can go get a silicone over by the utensil area where the canning jars are. They have a silicone insert. You can just put that in a stock pan so that your jars don't touch the bottom. You don't have to get a fancy canner. It's just need a stock pot that can fill up enough water. You get that little silicone insert. You can put it down so that your jars aren't sitting on the bottom of the metal. Just do it. Just do it. Dave says, thank you so much for the membership. Just do it. That is my biggest advice. Start with jams. You can start with jams, fruits, applesauce, anything like that. It is going to open up a whole new world to you. Very, very easy. It's very easy. And it's such a great addiction too. And it will bring this level of self-reliance on yourself where you're like, oh, so when people go, oh, I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to take all your stuff, I'm going to get your rotational pantry. I'm like, I can make that in like one summer. And then when we go over, so a stock pot is okay over an actual can. Yes, yes, yes. And you just want to get the silicone insert. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. I'll show it. Because I'm not on YouTube or TikTok, I won't get in trouble. Hold on, let me find Walmart really quick. I found them for really, really cheap. And this is a great frugal find for you guys. Have a great day, Hunger. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. So I have a pot that's like, oh, I'm just going to make sure to cover up my address. I have a pot like that. You can do that. I mean, it's like $30, okay? Depending on your area. But they have an insert that's very cheap. Oh, here it is. There it is. It's called a canning rack. It's a silicone canning rack, heat resistant, 450 degrees. It looks like a little star. You can find that in the kitchen section, canning section. I'm trying to just cover my address, guys. Let's not make it weird, okay? But it is only $3.82. It's just keeping a barrier between your jars and the metal so that you don't shock your jars and they crack. So you just want those jars sitting on top. Excellent. Ooh, Teresa, that's smart. I bought all my friends' water bath canners off of Facebook Marketplace for like $10. I was like, who's Mima bought their kids some canning pots and then they decided they never wanted to learn how to can. So I was buying them out and handing them out. It was like Oprah. You get a canning pot and you get a canning pot. And then I just had people come over and I was like, let me teach you. Garage sales, yep. Oh, that was so nice. I picked up a water bath pot at Savers for $10. That's such a win. See, you guys are all amazing. I'm just kind of watching between both chats, and it's just insane and amazing to see how many members we have. You bought 5 new ones and 4 used ones from an auction. I love that. That's what so here in Utah, we have a thing called, who in here is from Utah of my followers? Before I give away all my secrets, I know Mike is. I got questions. His All-American, yeah, he had some amazing deals. Okay, so I like to like scavenge. Is that the word I'm looking for? Anyways, I like to search. It's called KSL here in Utah. And I'm constantly looking for different prepping supplies. Utah is like a vortex of prepping. The LDS church really does push emergency preparedness, which I love. But all these younger generations are like, I don't want water storage in my basement. I need to get rid of this water storage container. And they're like, $100. And it's like a big container. And I'm like, I will meet you at midnight in a dark alley. Just bring it. You can find a lot on KSL. Not everybody else has the same options, but here, because prepping is so common and emergency preparedness is very common, you got a pressure canner for your birthday. I just upgraded to an all-American. Went to recycling and found a dozen quart jars. Ooh, that's amazing. It covers 3 states. Yep. Canning is definitely therapeutic, especially when the world's feeling very heavy. I know Tree, Kelly, and Chrissy definitely all like to can the same way I do, where it's like it's almost like therapy. It's just it allows you to like grasp at what's going on in the world, but at the same time feel very relieved that you have different skill sets. For those who are, yep, AudiQ, that's amazing. But yeah, you can use just a regular stock pot. I would just put an insert inside. Same little D, the All American grain mill. I have an All American skillet, not skillet. What is it? It's a skillet. It goes across all my flame burners, but I can like make pancakes and stuff. Best purchase I ever made. You have an electric Presto canner. It helped me get over my fear of pressure canning. I bet it did, Polish Homestead. I put music on and sing while I get everything ready for canning. It's truly therapeutic. I do love it. It is very nice, and you can prep your food earlier. Is estate sales? Yep, estate sales. I know. Country Trumpkin, that, like, just makes me so sad, is it's another good source for equipment is estate sales. When us old geezers kick off, our grandkids don't want that stuff. I know, and it's so sad. It's so sad, like, my grandma got me all my canning stuff, and then when she passed away, then I've taken on her canning stuff, and there's just this lost generation that doesn't want to can and finds it a waste of space. However, I'm, like, always questioning when I open something from a jar from the or a can from a store. I'm like, "How was this done? Did they do it safely? Is there a recall?" Hold on, I do have a phone call. 1 second. Shoot, how do I do this? Thank you. I will get used to this system. It was my son calling, so, still a mom. Gotta take those phone calls. No sound? Is the sound good now? You bought your daughter her first Instapot. Is she also ooh. I don't recommend Instapots for canning. You can't control the pressure and it can get very dangerous, especially with controlling the pressure inside the Instapot. Are you meaning like a pressure canner? Like the electric pressure canners? Just be very, very careful. I don't recommend them because it is so dangerous. A lot of people think an Instapot can, but it can be very dangerous because if your pressure gets too high, it won't self-release the correct way. But you do you. Your kitchen, your rules. I'm not gonna scrutinize or anything. I just always err on the side of caution. It's the same with, like, Amish canning. I always err on the side of caution, make sure you do a lot of research, but, um, pressure pots, is that the word? Instant pots can be very dangerous. Is the sound going well? The electric Presto canners, I've never used one yet. They look very unique. Scraping soup off the ceiling, the third-degree burn sounds like fun to me. Oh, no. Yeah, they don't get as hot. The internal temperature, um, there is a lawsuit, I believe, with Instapots, because they claimed canning inside their manual, and they had some really bad cases. Um, so just be very cautious. I don't recommend it, just as somebody who does this all the time, I would not recommend it. You just got your first? Let's go. Oh, I was trying to get Dave up there. He says, "Damn, y'all are canning. I'm happy. I just got my first cast iron pot." I love my Presto electric canner. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, the Presto electric canners are really great. My son is calling again. One second. Hello. Okay, we unmuted. We unmuted. Oh my goodness. We are going through it today. Cast iron gifts. Ooh, I love that for you, Cheryl. Got legs, can go straight in the fire as needed. Ooh, which one did you get, Dave? Which one did you get? I have 2 stock pots ready, so I'm probably gonna go down that road. Sounds the safest route. Yeah. Water bath canning is just start off small. Pressure canning, I'm hoping that I can get the setup put up in my kitchen. Normally, I have to use my phone if I am doing a live canning. I would love to sit down with you guys so that you guys can learn just generalize like how to gain pressure. Mrs. V, thank you so much for the membership. I wanted to say thank you. My son kept calling. I am going to have to cut this live short. I'm going to go pick him up from the school. He does not feel well. And then I will be filming and putting up a new video for this evening. Good night, Audie Q. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love canning. I haven't tried sourdough bread yet. It seems scary. Sourdough is very easy. Very, very easy. Just keep your dough happy and then just put some of it in your fridge so it doesn't go bad. But canning is just the most simplest way for me to do it is just do it. And then hopefully we can get a setup a little bit better where we can have it set up in the kitchen. I most likely will have to be on my phone. So that live will probably get hit with a bunch of bots and trolls because when it's on my phone like this, look how cute my family is. They're so cute. Okay. We are a little bit of Disney little junkies. We love our Disneyland. It's a good little break away from the doom and the gloom. Unfortunately, it's in California. No offense to y'all that are in California. But just being able to show you guys how to build your pressure, release your pressure, how to actually correctly can all of it, pressure canning. And I know that there's a lot of people in here who have followed me over from TikTok. How many of you guys have I sat with on pressure canning and it made you feel more confident that you had somebody actually pressure canning the same time frame that you guys were? Christina says me. Anybody else? Oh, wow, country trumpkin. That's amazing. I really do enjoy that aspect because I feel like it levels you up in your prepping game, right? So everybody wants to have, you want your radios, your emergency radios, uh, your guns, your ammunition, your medical, your Jace medical, your antibiotics, food, all of these different things, right? Your fire starters, your buddy heaters. I did make a post on YouTube. It's a list from over actually 2 years ago, but I just reposted it because I posted it last year. It popped up on my memories, and I was like, oh, I haven't posted that over here. It's just a simple list. You can take a screenshot, print it out, go through it. Most of it you might already have in your home. And there might be ideas in there that you were like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Are you sneezing? Are you sick? And I want you guys not to feel afraid of your canners. Your canners should be one of your best friends. To try a pressure canning. Oh, I love that, Amber. I try to break it down, and when I host lives, my cat is sneezing right behind. They love bless you. Bless you. What'd you get into? What did you get into? Oh, were you in the tunnel? You have dust on your face. I think you were in the tunnel. Definitely something I'm wanting to learn, especially after watching with the jarred burritos. Don't have anything. They're delicious. That was one of my biggest weaknesses. If you like the jarred burritos, you'll love the chicken and gravy. Oh my goodness, they are amazing. Propane burner, heat dispense plate to getting too hot. I've used propane burner. I've used what is a propane burner? The Camp Chefs. I've used that with pressure canning before. I have. But I feel like it just allows you to level up because when you're working on your rotational, you have a victory garden. I always want you guys to have some sort of garden, whether it's just one plant or 100. That's up to you. But just expanding and expanding and expanding because you don't want to end up like on the What is the show? What is the show? The one that just came out on Angels Homestead. Homestead. They had only certain people that knew how to run a garden. They only had certain people, like, they were so busy making wine, but they weren't canning things. Like, it just there was a lot going on. It just allows you to replenish your food source, and that allows that self-sustainability, which is what our grandparents and our great-grandparents and our great-great-grandparents did before. You couldn't go to the grocery store to go get marinara. You I don't even go to get marinara. I can my own. I have my own over there. Um, Grocery stores and those kind of things are of convenience, and this lifestyle about convenience is becoming a uh a liability to the world. That's how you guys do it every time, Billy D. We use our Camp Chef. Yeah. So, like, even my friends that I grew up with that have been friends with my grandparents, we all just run a bunch of Camp Chefs in the garage. And we just can our hearts out. We're on the back deck. I'm trying to grow more herbs and teas. I love that. Stop buying prepaid grocery. Yes, prepackaged groceries. Yes. Well, and the ingredients, even on the fresh groceries, are just they put so much in there. They just want to kill you. I would have been banned on TikTok for saying that. They do. I want you guys to have the resources to do it. I do guerrilla growing. What is that? What is guerrilla growing? Before I have to get off, I've never heard of that. Yeah, we love our Camp Chef. Love it. Like, I'm so excited to have an outdoor kitchen. I don't want to get too far ahead of me. I feel like once I get the garden established, the drip line, they're doing the well. Next is the outdoor kitchen and just getting the house moved on. And I feel like this next year is just going to be rapid fire, just one thing after another. You might see me, you're going to see me disheveled. There's going to be a lot of physical labor. I live in an apartment, no garden. Growing without consent. Oh, that's so interesting. I've never heard that term before. Very, very unique. I like it. It's growing without consent. I like it, Dave. Yes. I've never heard of that term, but I really like it. I will definitely use that term. I like it. Since we've been gardening, we've taken $700 off of our grocery bill. Some of the articles that I have been part of, they were flabbergasted that my family spends less than $500 a month on a food, for a family of 5. Sometimes we only spend 200. It just depends on what I have in the garden, what's going on. But our cost of living is a lot less than a lot of others. Ooh, that's amazing, little red hen. Well, I am gonna have to cut this live short. We're coming right up on our hour and a half marker, and I have to go pick up my son from school. His stomach hurts. I don't know if he just doesn't want to be at school. This kid just wants to be homeschooled. I'm telling you that. Um, but until I have a better work-life balance, I don't think I can do the homeschooling and work all at the same time. I do work full time. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. You'll be watching for the countdown. I got to figure out how to do it. I know Mike's going to send me on how to do it. I have no idea, but I'm very excited to see how it goes. Oh, that's very okay. I like that. Ooh. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. We are going to wrap this up, and I appreciate you guys all for being here. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm excited to see how we grow this platform. We recurate it to the way we want it. I know I don't really fit in every niche. One thing I have very much noticed is on here for prepping, they want to like put me in pantry preparedness, but I don't all do pantry preparedness. I do hunting, I do a bushcraft, I do a lot of different like genres, and I feel like I'm one of the only females that have been doing different genres. I do a lot of pantry. I mean, you are in my pantry. Um, my rotational pantry. But I'm excited to see how we kind of curate this and kind of change that stigma and just kind of morph it all together, because I think preppers need to be very well rounded. We can't just be so heavy in one or the other. The live with no ads. I have no idea how that goes. I normally add ads on afterwards unless I'm doing it right off the YouTube app. That's what we've been doing out, like, at the property. I just built a couple chairs and just some fun stuff that I haven't had time to do, with how TikTok's been. I'm excited to see a lot more, a lot more. Me and Chrissy were talking about how many fences I have to build. I have to do a lot of fencing out there, a lot of fencing. And that might be a boring video for somebody just to see me placing down poles and doing fences. They usually pop up and then you can't hear me. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know, Marianne. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. There will be a new video out here in a few hours as soon as I pick him up and then finish editing it. But we'll be just talking about, a little bit of the geopolitical. I do dabble on that a little bit, but also the practicality of prepping, the natural way to do it. The buy one for now, two for later. Really set yourself goals. I think today's video is more goal orientated than anything, because when all these bad news articles come out, you start feeling a little bit more sane when you have your goals and you're working towards goals and you're completing them one step at a time. Yep. Little stones turn into big piles. Yep. They do. They do. So, all right. You guys have a good one. I will see you guys soon. Bye.